we must rise because it's time for us to rise. Now, today I'm telling you the story of a bee. The bee is an interesting insect. If you've ever been bitten by the bee before, if you're eating honey, you appreciate the producer of the honey. The bee is an interesting insect. Can be very dangerous. What we eat as honey is the feces of the bee. The bee, that's the feces of the bee. It's like eating cow dung. You know, the excreta of the cow. Let me be gentle, Let me go gentle. Ease up with my choice of words. Fecal matter. Let me just say, is the excreta of the bee. Honey. And it's so sweet. We love honey. As a matter of fact, it's the healthiest sweet. Dietitians will entreat us to use honey in place of sugar, white sugar, all the time. They will tell you if you can't get brown sugar, don't go with white sugar. It's not healthy for your body. It has been polished. A lot of chemicals added to it to give it the white color you see. So white sugar is not healthy for your body. And they will tell you, as much as possible, do honey. But have you ever pulled over to think about the man producing the honey, how the honey is gotten, how they get the honey for you to eat for the good health you're looking for? It is dangerous. Sometimes those who go hunt for the honey, those who go look for the honey, they get bitten by these bees. And the bees sting. Lord God have mercy. Most of us are scared of injections. Now, a bee sting is much more painful than injection. If it's your face, it will be swollen. Your whole body will be swollen. One bee sting. And that's why Muhammad Ali will say, I fly like a butterfly and I sting like a bee. Because if you make a mistake and allow the blow of Muhammad Ali to land on your face, it will swell. So when Muhammad Ali says, I float like a butterfly and I sting like a bee, that means if you make a mistake and receive a punch from him in your face, it will swell. So if you don't protect yourself looking for honey and you allow yourself to be bitten by the bee, Lord God have mercy. Hello, man. Yo, man. But let me tell you about this bee. The bee lives less than 40 days. The entire lifespan of the bee is 40 days. Humans can live, today the expectancy rate of humans, 50, 60, 70. So if you walk around town, you look at the obituary, posters in town. The youngsters are even more than the older folks. You see 25, what a shock. 23, what a shock. 30, what a shock. Gone too soon. But the life expectancy rate, as I speak, is some 50, 60. If you cross 70, 80, you are lucky. If you cross 90, 100, you are extremely lucky. But the bee, the entire lifespan of the bee is 40 days. Winyinacha 40 days. How do they call the bee in tree? Fanti. What is the name of the bee in Fanti? Somebody tell me. Winyinacha 40 days, bee. But it visits at least 1,000 flowers and produces less than a teaspoon of honey. Or honey. The bee lives less than 40 days, visits at least 1,000 flowers and produces less than a teaspoon of honey. But for you and I, that teaspoon of honey, that is just a teaspoon of honey for you and I. It's only a teaspoon of honey for your tea or for your cocoa or for your recipe. But for the honey, but for the bee, that's its life, entire life. That teaspoon of honey you put in your tea or you mix up with your recipe is the entire lifespan production of a bee. So for you, it's just a teaspoon and you enjoy it. The next day you take it, you enjoy it. But that's the entire lifespan of the insect bee. It takes 40 days to live, and within the 40 days, it will visit at least 1,000 flowers and produce less than a teaspoon of honey. Now you take the honey, teaspoon, in a twinkle of an eye, you're done. You enjoy it. But that's the lifespan, the entire life of a bee. With Jan and Nine side, the entire lifespan, 40 days. What am I implying? Gratitude. From where you sit, you think the gesture, the good done to you, is nothing. But for the one doing it, it's his or her entire lifespan. But for the one doing it, it has taken him or her a lot of effort to do it. But for you receiving it, you at the receiving end, you think it's nothing. Probably you are rich. For you, 1 cedi is no money. But all your money is in your wallet, e-cash. Because you're rich, you don't do cash, e-cash. Now you're walking around along the road and then you have a problem with your sandals. You need to patch it up, sew it. You look around, no mobile money vendor. But there's a shoemaker around here. Now somebody passing by, why? You tell the person, oh, my shoe, and then the person gives you 1 cedi to mend the shoe. For you, with a lot of money in your wallet, e-money, you think 1 cedi is no money, and you share your papa him be 1 cedi so a day. But probably that's the person's last 1 cedi. No one you know the amount. So never underestimate the gesture done you by somebody. You have no idea the effort involved. You have no idea the sacrifice involved. It might be as little as you think it is, but that's the person's greatest efforts done to you, like the bee. The bee's life expectancy rate, if it's not killed by accident, it lives for 40 days only. Within the 40 days, it will visit 1,000, at least 1,000 flowers and produce less than a teaspoon of what? Honey. But that's somebody's breakfast. A teaspoon is somebody's breakfast. So the person thinks, oh, teaspoon there, and yes, but that's the bee's entire lifespan. Appreciate the bee and appreciate every little gesture around you. Never underestimate any good done you. To you, it might be little, but to the person doing it, it took a lot of effort to do it. Appreciate regardless.